Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Also, please be warned that I will never be soliciting you for readings or anything in the comment box below. That is just not the way I do things. And so if somebody is pretending to be me, report them to YouTube. Also, if you could send me a note, I am trying to keep abreast on the situation and I'm doing a pretty good job. But if somebody slips through my seeing, please do send me an email. All right. Thank you all so much, and don't be caught in stay safe. All right, fantastic. So now let's dive into this reading. Let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. And let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Virgo, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading. Fantastic. And one bonus card. Awesome. So let's see what your chakra energy has to say. Virgo, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Ooh, fantastic. These three. So we have truth, the throat chakra. And we're going to see how this all equates back to the tarot in just a moment. Then we have holistic health, the root chakra. And finally, we have creativity, the sacral chakra. Now, the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self, and your one bonus card. So we have the Queen of Coins. So you're coming through as a queen during this time, which is awesome. You have the Fool. You're embracing a journey. The Seven of Cups, dreams. The Chariot, which is Cancer energy, time frame of June 21st to July 22nd. We have the Wheel of Fortune, crowning the heart. The Eight of Cups, Strength, which is Leo energy. Time frame is July 23rd to August 22nd. The Nine of Coins, prosperity, hard work paying off. You have the Emperor, Leo energy, not Leo energy, goodness, Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. You then have the Eight of Swords, the repeat of the number 8 here. Can mean that, well, does mean that you're taking this time very, very seriously, at times a little bit too seriously, to really embrace the joy and the wonderment that you want to during this time. So step back just a little bit. You also have very strong sacred feminine energy around you. You then have the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There's something that you will be facing that you kind of thought you had dealt with. Now, this could be a generational curse, something within your family line. I know that sounds so scary to say generational curse, but it's something that was taught to you when you were little, or something that is kind of within your DNA that can make you a little bit more anxious about things, because we do know that if there is a big trauma within your DNA line, that it can make the person in this generation, it can make you more anxious, it can make you kind of more prone to depression or things like that. So here, what you're looking at is you're looking at reasonings, and you're looking at the power to move you forward, the power to look at the past and to understand the past, but to say, this is my present, and this is my gift and my truth. And then you have as your bonus card, the Ten of Wands. Yeah, you're putting down a heavy load, and you're really embracing this new start. It's a darkness before the dawn, which is really, really nice. It's kind of like being able to put down everything that you've just carried for way too long. Now let's see the people who will be aiding you during this time. Virgo, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We have here Justice, Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd. This is going to be somebody who is very fair, but also very discerning. It's going to be like, well, they try to be fair to everyone. Okay, so that starts off. But they'll be saying, this isn't fair for me. And that's going to give you the power here, Virgo, to say, well, that isn't fair for me. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's standing in your truth, and it's sitting there and saying, I have to do what's right for me. I have to move forward in this truth. And it's not being petulant or childlike or anything like that. It is sitting there and really openly, really honestly connecting with what you need and connecting with the energy that is building you up and that is leading you forward. So that's going to be something that very much balances out your world. And this person helps you see that. This person helps sit there and say, well, these are my boundaries. And you look at it and you're like, okay, well, those aren't my boundaries, but I respect where they're coming from. I respect what they're saying and how they're seeing things. And then it moves you to the Prince of Swords. The Prince of Swords is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. This is a person who charges forward, who slays the dragons, who's really overcome a lot of darkness in their life, difficulties, despairs, and you're going to be looking at this and being like, if they can do it, so can I. If you can move forward this way, then so can I. And that's going to be a really inspiring thing for you. It's going to be, something where you're sitting and you're like, this can be me. I can move forward this way. I can still have that dream. I can still move forward in that truth, because your inner self is very much on a journey. It's on a journey to embrace what it is that you truly want. It's on a journey to really see who it is that you are and where it is that you want to be. And then we have here the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is a person who is very passionate. You have a strong Leo presence here. This is a person who is strong, who looks at things differently. This isn't going to be a person who demands. This is going to be a person who looks and who sees and who plays towards people's strengths and really adds a richness and a beauty to the lives that they touch. And that's going to be something that you really admire during this time, because you really admire that period, because, I mean, who wouldn't? But there's a sense of embracing your truth, of seeing what it is that you desire, seeing what it is that you're looking for and looking towards. And the truth balances you. It sets you free. And it doesn't mean that it's everybody else's truth. You know, for some, the tarot holds tremendous truth. For others, it just doesn't. But it's saying, this is my truth, and this is the way that I see my life, and this is how I have to move forward. And it's connecting with your truths, and it's declaring these truths in power and in purpose and in love and in light. So your truth can be something that's astoundingly personal, but you say it within yourself. It's like, I dedicate my life to, and I move forward in. And for you, it could be very different than for somebody else, but it's living in that truth. It's knowing what you want. It's knowing who you are, in a sense. And people sit there and we spend our whole entire lives searching, because we think it's supposed to be something big. We think it's supposed to be something overwhelming. And Spirit is guiding me to share this with you, but I'm reluctant because it's a very private story. When I was, like in my teens, somewhere in my teens, I think it was like 16, maybe 17, I dedicated my life to the Virgin Mary. I said, I wanted to live with purpose, and I thought that was a really good purpose. And for me, being raised Catholic, that's the way I thought of it. And as I've grown and as I've evolved, the idea of that dedication has changed, but the truth behind that dedication stays the same. And that can be a life purpose, to sit there and say, I want to walk in a shadow of compassion and of kindness and of love and acceptance and of understanding. That is a purpose. And we sit there and we think it has to be something big, or we sit there and we think, oh, well, then you should take like holy orders or something like that. But if that wasn't your purpose, then it would be wrong. And so here it's stating your life purpose, and it can be something as small as that. And I know it sounds silly, but it was very soothing when I did it, and it's very soothing when I still do it, and I sit there and I say, this is my purpose, like to walk in compassion, to try and live in peace. And that is a life purpose. That is a truth. That is a balance. And that is something that we're seeing here. That's what Spirit is showing me, that it can be something very small, but it's something very powerful. It's something very personal. And it brings you into alignment with your truth, and it also brings you into your holistic self. It brings you into a sense of saying, this is honestly and openly me. And other people don't have to understand it. Other people don't have to see it. Other people don't have to care. But this is who I am. And again, we tend to think it has to be something movie star-esque, rock star-esque. Everybody has to see. Everybody has to understand ooh and ah over it and be jealous over it. But it can be something so quiet. It can be something so gentle. It can be something so personal and so powerful that it opens up a world to you. Your holistic self is your natural self. It's the self that you were born to be. It's not what anybody else demands of you. It's what you need. And so here, you're opening up that world. You're healing in that truth. You're moving forward in that power. And it's moving forward with you. And as you do so, you're also looking at the world around you. You're looking at the foods that you eat. You're looking at the drinks that you drink. You're looking at sleeping habits. I know that's a huge one for me. And you're saying, well, how is it that I can enhance my health, that I can enhance my prosperity, my bounty, and my well-being? And it's kind of moving from the quick fixes to things that might take a little bit more time, but that heal the aches, the pains, the hurts, the things that you're just told, oh, you're just going to have to live with this. And you're going to start to see, well, there's more options out there than what I had originally thought. And of course, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just also seeing here, which apparently this is like personal Dean story time, but I have had a terrible gut. And I started taking not only these, but I started taking these things to rebuild the stomach lining. And I was just told, you're just going to have to live with it. That's just it. And it's starting to heal things in a way and give relief in a way that I never thought possible. And so here you're going to see these things as you kind of open up to different paths, as you sit there and say, well, maybe the natural way, the healing way is better. And that leads you to this place of creativity. It leads you to this place of leaving a lot of the hurts and the pains and the disappointments that have just been piling up on you. And it's kind of like you can't stop it. The sacral chakra right here with the root chakra, like you're looking at your rooted self, to heal your rooted self and to let that rooted self shine forward as you speak the truth with your throat chakra. And it's here where things start to fall into alignment because you start to embrace your truth, your power, yourself, your bounty, your brilliance. And you start to say, well, why can't I let this shine? Why can't I create my way forward? Why can't I be more than what I had expected or than what I had originally envisioned? And that opens you up to a world that is more than what you had thought it would be. And you start to slosh away. It's kind of like you're taking off. And we see that in the public arena. You're taking, in the bonus card, but it's definitely affecting the public arena. You're taking off the weight that has held you back, that has kept you silent. And it's letting this creativity show. And it really does have you embracing this queen's mentality as you move forward. This sense of, I'm just looking right here at everybody set at her table. You're looking at how it is that I can nourish what it is that is growing within me, around me, and that is leading me forward. How is it that I can nourish my life, my creativity, my prosperity, my bounty? And with the Queen of Pentacles, it's the fruits of the earth. It's the fruits of your hard work, of your dedication, of your determination. And it's a sense here of being this kind of beacon of strength, of looking at things and seeing a way forward that you hadn't seen before. It's knowing that divinity has given you these gifts, has given you these powers, has given you this greater understanding that you hadn't had. And as the world opens to you and as you open to this world, it's like, oh, well, I can do this. And it's a much more private time. I see the Queen of Pentacles as somebody who works behind the scenes. Okay, it's like the director behind the scenes. The king I see as more the actor upon the stage. And as you're working behind the scenes, as you're kind of moving things forward, as you're gaining a greater understanding, as you're looking at this truth, you're sitting there and you're seeing this prosperity and how you can nurture it and how it can nurture others and also yourself. And then that brings you on this fool's journey that as you're looking at your prosperity, people will sit there and say, well, why are you going on this journey? Like, why are you moving forward this way? Like, can't you stay contented here? Or, you have enough on your plate. Don't make more trouble for yourself. But you're going to see yourself moving forward. You're going to see yourself needing more. There's going to be, it feels like a wanderlust. And of course, having a wanderlust now at this time in the world can be a little bit difficult, but it's the need to move forward, to create, to balance, to heal, to have that truth guide you. And so here with the Fool, I see this as, other people tell you that it's foolish, but every hero's journey starts with a foolish act, starts with something that people shake their heads and say, oh, you're not going to like how this ends, or you don't really understand what you're getting into. And now you're moving yourself forward. And it's like, oh, but I do see. And it's just a release. It's like, oh, but I do see. I do know more than what you think I do. And as I move forward in my truth, and as I start to embrace my journey, I'm slaying the monsters that held me back for too long. I'm going after what I need to. Because it's not a journey for anybody else. It's a journey for you. Sometimes we have to do things to prove to ourselves that we can do things. And people sit there and they look at us and they shake their heads and they're like, well, what are you even doing here? But you want to kind of birth your dreams into this world. You want to move forward and sit there and say, this is what I have dreamt up. This is what my heart has longed for. My soul has greatly desired. And this is what I get to have in my world and in my life. I get to create this. And the Seven of Cups is that creation, is that understanding. It warns us not to simply live in dreams, because it warns us not to have our dreams as that safe escape to go to in our minds, to sit there and to say, oh, but I have this dream. And the world doesn't get to sully it. The world doesn't get to rip it apart. I have this dream and it gets to be safe. It gets to be secure. It gets to be powerful within me. And so the Seven of Cups, as we move forward with the Fool, as we take on our hero's path, as we look at things and we say, why not? Why can't I move forward this way? Why can't I be this person? Why can't I have this dream? It moves us then to embracing our hearts, to embracing our souls, and to taking the dreams out of that sacred place that we go to where the world cannot hurt it, and say, I'm stronger than I realize, and I can have that dream come forward. And I can move forward in that truth, in that understanding, with that knowledge, and I can create. And it can be so much more than I ever expected it to be. And it starts to lead. It starts to lead. There you go. It starts to lead you forward with the Cancer energy. It starts to lead you forward as a charioteer, as a person to charge to what you need, to what you want, to where it is that you need to be, to what it is that you desire, to what it is that you're looking for. The charioteer is sitting there and is so much more skilled than we even think of now. So we think of the chariot and we look at it and it's like, oh, here, it's snail racing, right? So you could think like, what's that? But it's the beauty that's around, the slow progress forward. It's the people that come to watch. And it's also the fact that a charioteer, no matter what type of charioteer, has skill, okay? Has, a depth of understanding that is overlooked. And so here you have a depth of understanding that you usually overlook, and it comes from your heart. And it's time to kind of slow down, look at what it is that you want, move yourself forward, know your skills, know what it is that you desire, know that you are more skilled than what people give you credit for, and look at the beauty that is around you as you are moving forward. Don't forget to kind of stop and smell the roses. Don't forget that as you're charging forward at whatever speed, like people can sit there and say, it's been taking you decades. Are you still even moving? Like, are you still even going towards this dream? This dream is a part of you. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to bring the dream into reality. It matters that you brought the dream into reality. There is an old saying. I was watching, I don't know if it's an old saying. No, it was somebody, I was watching this person who was making this opera. And they said, I don't know if I had this dream or if the dream had me. And that is something that has always stuck with me. It's kind of like, I don't know if I had this dream or if the dream had me, if I was born simply for this dream. And if you were born for this dream, then it does not matter when the dream comes to pass. It matters that you have found the prosperity, the bounty, the brilliance within yourself to move forward within this dream, no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be, being a Hollywood A-list movie star or a rock star that everybody knows your name. It has to be the dream of your heart, the passion of your soul. And it leads you to your heart. It leads you to the Wheel of Fortune. And I love the owl fortune teller here. I think that is absolutely brilliant. It leads you to this beautiful sense of change, of understanding, of coming into a new season, of looking at things from a different perspective, of seeing things in a way that you hadn't imagined. And as your heart moves forward towards this change, towards this new season that you're letting into your life. Now, it can be a season of hibernation because you are preparing for something brilliant to come. Now, if your world is cold, like mine is right now, it might be, a time where it feels very natural to kind of hibernate, to kind of go into yourself, to look, to search, to discover. But if your world is more, warm and sunny, you might find that it's harder to kind of go inward. So divinity might be calling you outward, sitting there and saying, go and explore and see and gain this understanding and see your truth and wander forward. I do see here that a lot of things are going to be very much dictated by your geographical location, of course, but there is a sense of almost like your mood is mimicking the weather outside. So again, if it's gray and cold, just be very mindful. Like, I would highly recommend a Lux light or one of those lights that kind of imitate sunlight so that you can get your vitamin D and just keep really healthy and really, really positive and can help fight away the sad, right? So here, as you're moving forward, seasons are changing and you're honoring the season that you're in. You're seeing the beauty of it. And this change is guiding you forward with insight that you hadn't thought you needed, but that is highly powerful and highly personal to you. And it moves you to walk away from what you once thought you would love. I just got tongue-tied right there. So there's something here where it's going to be like, it's going to trip you up a little bit. It's going to be like, oh, well, can I move forward this way? Or do I know this? Or am I sure? And there's a sense here. There's a sense of having to leave. There's a sense of having to change things. And there can be somebody here who's like, it's going to be a mistake, or I can't believe that you're doing this. And it's not running away from responsibilities. I'm a huge believer in responsibilities, but it is a sense of, I need to follow my path. It might not be the most conventional path, but I need to follow my path. I need to walk in my truth. I need to embrace this bounty. I need to embrace this brilliance, and I need to move forward in what once was right. I need to move forward from what once was right. And it can feel hard because you might have thought, oh, I thought this was it. And a lot of times we sit there and we think, oh, I figured it all out. And then divinity just hands us, a new season, hands us a curveball. And you're looking at it and it's like, oh, it doesn't fit anymore. It's kind of like that really comfy pair of shoes that you go to put on and they don't fit anymore. And it's so aggravating. Here, it's like that. And you need to move forward. You need to change, because if you walk in the shoes that don't fit, they hurt your feet beyond belief. So now it's time to look at the strength that you have, to look at what it is that you desire, and to move forward in that wisdom, in that truth, in that greater understanding. With Leo here, you have here the repeat of the number 8. So you have the number 8 now 3 times within this reading, and you have the number 10 twice. So 10 is showing that you are coming to you've completed a cycle, and this is a cycle more personally, powerfully, and also a cycle passionately. You have the queens repeating, and the queens are showing you that it is a time to be the director of your life and not have to be as seen as a king would have to be. And you are looking at your strength. And here you have this ant, beating up this lion. And it's strength that was once unimaginable. It is strength that you thought strength was like this. You thought it was kind of like brute force strength, the bigger the muscles, the stronger the person type of thing. And you're going to find out that some of the strongest people in your life, or that you will ever meet, aren't physically strong. They're spiritually strong. And that's what you're embracing here. You're embracing that spiritual strength. You're embracing that prosperity, that beauty, that bounty, that brilliance. And you're finding out that you're stronger than you think you are. You know in the Bible how they have the story of David and Goliath. And people sit there and they ooh and they ah over David and Goliath because David took down the giant with a slingshot. But what people don't know is that back in that time, the slingshot was the most advanced weapon. So, of course, he took down, Goliath with a slingshot because it was the most advanced weapon that you could have. And here, it's kind of like you have this truly advanced weapon within your arsenal of being. And it's your soul, it's your conviction, it's your heart, it's the power of divinity coming into your life, and it's moving you forward in a way that is astounding. It's moving you forward in a way that you hadn't imagined. And it brings you a strength that people didn't think you had, especially towards your dreams. Because there's something here, there's something in your karmic line and in your DNA line that makes it feel like, I can't do this. Now, it can be that you watched your parents, have a really struggling time of it. They might not have had a lot of money, or one parent could have been really cruel to the other parent and belittled them, and that was internalized. And here, I just see like, don't be a fool is kind of what they're saying. Like, you can't be silly, you can't be a dreamer. And here, it's like, but those dreams are so beautiful. And it's not running away from the world. And that's something you have to know here, Virgo. It's having the strength to conquer what almost seems to be unbelievable, unconquerable. I don't think that's a word, but like, you cannot conquer it, but you are conquering it. And it's going to be such a surprise. And it comes from the heart. And it brings you to the nine of coins. It brings you to a prosperity that changes the whole arena for you. And yes, there's a lot of work ahead, but you are embracing this prosperity now. You are embracing this bounty now. And you are going to see yourself moving forward in a greater truth, in more than you had realized, more than you had ever imagined. And it opens up with the 9 of coins. It opens you up to being greater skilled, to having more come before you than you thought would be brought to your table. It's kind of like you expected to show up and kind of get a McDonald's hamburger, and all of a sudden you have this homemade feast. That's what I'm seeing here, which is really quite beautiful. And then it moves you to the Emperor. It moves you into the public arena to say, this is my truth. This is my life. I am fit to rule my existence. And there's a power to you here, Virgo, that shocks everybody, because the Emperor energy is the warrior energy, and you're rooted with the warrior. You're rooted here with the warrior queen, with the Queen of Swords. You're crowned with the Emperor, Aries, the god of war. And so here it's like you can face battles. Now, do you want to? No, not really. But will you be? Yes, you will. I'm going to be bouncing around for a moment, because the Eight of Swords shows the battle of the mind. How to move forward from the doubts, from the fears, from the chaos, from the anger, from the upset, from a sense of the negativity that was spoken over you that has kept you caged, that has made you think, you know what, you're right. I'm not that talented. I'm not that pretty. I'm not going to be able to move ahead. I'm just going to stay here, stuck. And it's what somebody has said to you. Passing ways, angry ways, and you're going to see yourself now released from it, because you're looking at your mind and yourself, and you're walking away from something you once loved. And I know it sounds funny to say that you once loved the wound, but you once loved the person who gave you that wound. It could be a parent, it could be a lover, it could be a best friend, it could be a sibling or a friend, a sibling. You once loved that person, and that's why they hit you so hard, and that's why their words caged you. A teacher that everybody really respected, or that you really respected, that you really respected, and that made you doubt your dreams, made you doubt that you could move forward. And now what you're seeing is that it's time. It's time to move forward towards your dream. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. This is part of that karmic line. This is part of the line, because others within your generation, not within your generation, within your generational line, okay, within your DNA line, they had the same doubts, the same fears spoken over them, and they were caged. They stopped their dreams. They didn't. And now it's time to sit there and say, I not only do this for me, but I do this for every single person in my line who had dreams and they couldn't come true because of circumstances, because of the times, because of whatever. I move forward in this truth. And I owe it to me. It's not you owe it to them, because you're not living for them. They've already lived. You owe it to you to move yourself forward in this strength and in this way that breaks the chains, that guides you to a greater understanding, that redefines your world. And that's what you're doing here. And this is one of the lessons that you were born to live, that you were born to look in the eye. And it leads you here really to that sentiment of, I may know all my flaws, and I may know every reason why I cannot rule, but I also know that nobody can rule over me. I claim my throne. I claim my truth. I'm a warrior of my mind. Everything I take in, everything I see, everything I'm gaining an understanding of. And I become mightier than people ever expected. The pen here is mightier than the sword. The mind is mightier than you knew, than the strongest muscle. And so here, as you look at this truth, you are recording the way that you want to move forward. You might be working this all out right now. You might be sitting there and kind of, balancing it out, gaining an understanding, looking at things more openly, more honestly for yourself. You might be finding that journaling really helps, or talking things out. If you're like me, you like to talk out loud and see how the world develops. But you're being led towards something you love. You're being led to embrace something that has you digging deep and has you being this warrior and has you, sitting there and saying, I am stronger and I am better than I ever realized, and I get to have this truth push me forward. And it's releasing the workhorse mentality. It's releasing the being burdened and burdened and burdened till you can hardly take another step. It's not being lazy, but it's sitting back and it's saying, I have dreams, I have desires, I can't be carrying everything for everyone. And so I have to embrace my truth and my way forward, my understanding. And I complete this cycle because I can only live my passion. I cannot live anybody else's. And that's something that is absolutely important and imperative to you during this time. So let's go deeper. Virgo, January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And let's look at who you need to be mindful of during this time. Who does Virgo need to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Virgo. Who does Virgo need to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we start here with the Death card. This is a Scorpio energy, time frame October 23rd to November 21st. This person does not have to be a Scorpio. This is just a very mean person. All right? So Spirit is making that completely clear, that it could be a Scorpio, but this is going to be a person who is venomous, okay, who works in the shadows, who always has an ulterior motives. And yeah, this is just going to be a really nasty person. So just be mindful of them. Just really sit there and it's like, I don't want your energy mixing with my energy, and you're going to need to kind of move away from them, because they're going to be very alluring. They're going to come across a very certain way, and then they're just going to sting, and that's going to be them. They're really coming across not okay. So that's why Spirit said that. They're not necessarily the Scorpio in the zodiac. They're going to act like a Scorpio, okay, like the creature that stings, and is the littler they are, the more venomous they are. So just be mindful of that. Then you have here you, Virgo. So you have to be mindful of getting in your own way. And I know that sounds so terribly mean to say, but there are going to be times here where you're going to want to move forward and you're going to think, oh no, I can't. And you're not. So here it's like, just know that you can be the one that gets in your own way, and you have to be very mindful of the way that you're looking at things, at what you're taking in as truth, or what you're putting on the back burner, and how you're taking care of yourself, because that's going to be very important. And then we have the King of Cups. This is somebody who is way too emotional. This is somebody who lets their emotions get the better of them and is very emotionally manipulative. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. But remember, these don't have to be relegated to that sign, though Spirit has been showing me very lately that when your sign comes up, when whomever I'm reading for sign comes up, that is for them to be warned not to get in their own way. So it can also be another Virgo that gets in your way, most definitely, but you are being warned here not to get in the way of the adventure to come. You have the Four of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Fool again, now crowning your heart, the Strength card over the Strength card, love that, the Four of Pentacles. So there can be some vampiric energy here too. There's something with this Leo energy that can be really, really good, but it can also be a bit more complex than you would like it to be. Four of Swords, repeat of the number 4 here, now 3 times. So this is divinity saying, take care of yourself and take care of the space around you. Beauty is going to be very important to you. The Hierophant, 5, you have the repeat of the number 5. Freedom, things coming together more easily than you had thought they would. It doesn't mean that it's going to come together easily, but it's just going to move a little bit smoother than you thought it would. So the Four of Cups. Divinity is handing you a gift that you're not really going to be looking for. It doesn't really seem like a gift, but it comes your way, and you're going to see that as you unearth that gift, it's really quite breathtaking. It's really quite beautiful. And it becomes a powerful way of you moving forward. It becomes something that you meditate upon, that you call upon within your life, and it opens up a world to you. It is a gift that, again, it doesn't seem like a gift. Again, apparently this is, sharing time, but I always had a gift to connect to people, to connect with spirit, and it was very intense when I was little. And it didn't seem like a gift. It seemed like a curse. It made me very, very different. And it made me very, very sensitive. And I didn't like it. And so I pushed it away. I was like, it's not a gift. It's not something I want at all. And then stepping back into it, as I got older, it was like coming home. It was like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. And that's what I see here with you. Because it's what brings you your prosperity. It's what helps you move forward in your hero's journey. It's like, this is where I'm supposed to be, isn't it? This is the beauty and the glory and the bounty that gets to be a part of my soul and myself and my life. And it moves you to a blessing that other people saw, but that it was so hard for you to see. And that's going to be the thing. It made you different. It made you kind of feel awkward or overwhelmed, or, it made the world just a little bit harsher. The gifts that you were born with. Because it brings you a sensitivity, it brings you a connection to the world. Because if you're here, if you've stumbled across this channel, you're not like everybody else. And so with the Nine of Cups, it's a gift that other people can see much more easily than you. And it has to do with your dreams. Other people can see you walking in your dreams. Other people can see you having this power and having this grace. It's hard for you to. And here it's like, that's why you're being told, don't get in your own way. Because it'll be so easy to sit there and just be riddled with self-doubt and say, can't do it, can't move forward that way, doesn't get to be me. But the Five of Pentacles, it's like, I am tired of being on the outside of wealth. I'm tired of burying my gifts and burying who it is that I am to what, fit into a world that still hurts, into an idea that isn't yours. And so you're slowly and steadily moving forward in your truth. And you're unburying what is most prosperous to you. You're walking through. It's no longer a pauper. It's no longer being on the outside. It's now coming in. And it's saying, this is me. This is who I need to be. And I'm entitled to be wealthy. I'm entitled to be happy. And it doesn't mean, when Spirit says wealthy, Spirit does not mean that you have a mansion or anything like that. Spirit means secure. Spirit means stable. And you're entitled to be secure. You're entitled to be stable. You're entitled to have this prosperity lead you forward. And it's sitting there and it's taking the rags that you had before and saying, no, it's now time for riches. And it's meaning it. Because you're changing the game. You're changing what's acceptable. You're changing the way that you see yourself. You're changing what it is that you want. And you start on your journey. And it feels at times like a fool's journey, yes. But it is a journey into the future. It is a journey away from what once had fit, and it might have worked for you at one time, but it's not working anymore. And your soul is crying out for more. And it's like, I don't want this anymore. I can't be this anymore. And so now it's time to be truly, honestly, and openly you. And the Fool, it changes things. It changes your life. It changes your love. It changes your ideals and your ideas. And it moves you forward in a way that frees you. And it moves you to your strength. And the strength, there can also be a little bit of a something here with a Leo. Okay, so just be warned of that, where you could be having a bit of a difficulty, here with it, because I have the two journeys, and it might not always seem like they mesh. Okay. But as you're moving forward in your strength, as you're moving forward in your power, as you're calling it forward, it might not feel like the strength actually meshes within your life. You might sit there and be like, well, it was better when I was quiet. It was better when I wasn't being fierce. Like, people aren't understanding. Or it can even be that you don't feel comfortable because you're embracing the strength, but the world around you is still the same. So you're feeling very kind of overwhelmed and, unhappy, and it's until it settles. It's kind of like that chaos before everything settles down, and you're like, oh, this is it. It's kind of like moving. It's like that chaos, and then you start to unpack, and you're like, oh, this is it, isn't it? And I get to move forward in my strength. I get to move forward in my power. I get to move forward in my beauty. And that's what you're doing here. You're finding out that there's strength through compassion, through love, through comprehension that was missing before. And it also has you here having the strength to move away from vampiric energy that kept you from the prosperity, that kept you always thinking that it was going to be so much work than it actually was. Always thinking, oh, I'm going to have to be, like breaking my back, just like a slave to the job, a slave to like this. It's like this anger, this upset, this everything else that gets to rule my life. I get my life taken away from me. And that's the feeling that I'm getting here. And it's like, no more. No more. You are releasing the negativity. You're releasing that vampiric energy that kept you from being able to move forward the way that you needed to, the way that you want to. And yes, the experiences that you've been through that have made it seem like prosperity would be so far away, that made it seem like you would never get there, right, are going to be highly beneficial and also highly relatable. Is bringing a beautiful level of compassion into your existence and into your world. And you're going to find that you're relieving yourself of this vampiric energy. It's kind of like you're taking the leeches off your body and you're moving now into a beauty and into a bounty that you again didn't think could be yours. This gets to be everybody else's, but this doesn't get to be mine. But what's beautiful is that it gets to be yours. And then you have here the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is in the public arena as you claim your throne, okay? As you have the doubts and the fears that come forward and make you think, oh, I can't do this. You look at your life and you look at every single way you moved forward, every single trial, every single tribulation, every single anger, every single despair, every single heartbreak, all right? And you see how you're still standing. And you know what you say to yourself? Well done. Well done. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I'm still moving forward. I'm still passionate. I'm still creating. I still know that there's more out there than I could ever have realized. And that is brilliant. And that is what the Four of Swords tells us. The Four of Swords says, look at your life. And instead of looking at every single mistake, because that's what we do, we look back and we look at the shoulda, the couldas, and the wouldas. Now it's time to look at the, that stunk. And I still came through. That was hard, and I still made it. Because we take it as a given that we're supposed to. Oh yeah, I was supposed to handle that. No, other people would have crumbled. Oh yeah, I was supposed to come out of that really dark time. No, other people would have stayed there. Look at you and give yourself the respect that you deserve. It's not being pompous, it's not being arrogant. It's sitting there and saying, this hasn't been an easy road. And I honor that I've come through the battles. Brings you to the Hierophant. Keys to the kingdom, prosperity and bounty. It brings you to a place where kings listen to you. That's what the Hierophant is. In medieval times, the Pope could tell kings what to do. Kings and emperors. So you're looking at a force depicted that was more powerful than kings. And that here is you. You're more powerful than kings. If you stay true to who it is that you are, your bounty and your brilliance. If you move forward in kindness and compassion, love and acceptance, respect, you will find that the world opens in a way that is astounding. Now, you can also find that as you're traversing this road forward, you're going to be taken advantage of, and people will be mean and cruel and, people. But you will find that if you stay true to you, there's a way that you come out the other end better than you ever expected. But do not compromise your innate sense of self. And then it leads you to the Two of Cups. It leads you to healing, beautiful love. It leads you to a truth you've fought so hard for, and a bounty you could hardly have realized. Not your subconscious, your spirit animal message for this time. Virgo, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, there we go. We have the Deer Spirit. It says, bring a gentle touch. I love this card. I love this card because we tend to think, especially in our world now, and I think in our world forever, the louder we are, the more we stamp our foot, the more we make it known our presence, the happier we will be, or the more we will have. Bring a gentle touch. Kindness, compassion, moving gently within this world, walking gently. It will change so much. And it's such a powerful part of existence. It brings you then to the Whale Spirit. Trust in the great mysteries. We're not supposed to know everything. Trust in the great mysteries, that they will guide you and that they will gain for you insight and truth. And then we have the Wolf Spirit. It says, turn knowledge into wisdom. The knowledge that you have accumulated over your life becomes the wisdom that you live by. And that is just a fact. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the Parrot Spirit. Watch your words. Your words build your life. What you speak out loud to yourself, what you speak internally to yourself, what you think, what you say, they shape your world. Watch your words. They are more powerful than you think they are. Your subconscious person message is the Princess of Swords. You are looking at things differently, and you are more powerful and more to the point than you would think you are. So listen to what you're saying. So again, the words are going to be very important because they're shaping, they're carving, and they are more powerful than you think they are. But you're going to be looking at things differently. You're going to be saying things differently to yourself. Your subconscious chakra message is soul's healing. The soul star chakra, located 6 inches above your crown. Divinity is sending healing light over you, is healing you, is guiding you, is helping you to move forward. And you're embracing that soul's healing to really move forward in a world, in a world that doesn't always feel right, that doesn't always fit, but in a way that is always right for you. It's like you might not always fit here because your soul is healing, your vibration is elevating, and the rest of the world's down here, and you're trying and you're becoming and you're fighting for this truth, and you're seeing this brilliance and you're letting this brilliance be a part of you. You're letting this healing guide you. It leads you then to your subconscious tarot message, which is the 10 of Cups, and they all live happily ever after. You get to have your happily ever after. Now, when we think of happily ever after, we think of Disney, we think of Cinderella. You marry your prince, your princess, and everything is perfect. Well, that's not always the case. Like, the real hard work begins afterwards, right? So here, it is looking at what it is that you want from life, looking at the key components that are so important to you. It's also living in the moment, living in the present, not living in the past because you can't change it, not living in the future, though planning for it because that's important. But it's embracing your way forward. It's embracing the changes that are around you, the power that is moving you, the passion that is guiding you. And it is embracing your love, your joy, and your happiness. And it's calling your heart to full cycle. It's sitting there and saying, I get to complete this, what I love and what I need. And then brings you to go deeper into your subconscious. And you have the Prince of Swords. You are rising in your truth, cutting through doubts and fears, slaying dragons. The Prince of Swords is the Knight of Swords. And you are slaying that dragon, cutting through the brambles, ascending, and rescuing that part of you that has been asleep for way too long. And you get to have that beauty come forward. You get to have that light be within your life. When I see the Prince of Swords, he is the Knight of Swords. He is Prince Charming in Sleeping Beauty that comes down and slays the dragon, cuts through the brambles, and rescues the princess in the tower. Because he slays the part of the consciousness that hoards away all his gifts. He cuts through the brambles, the thorn bushes of the roses that are beautiful but deadly. And that's what life is, beautiful but deadly. And you ascend in consciousness to awake the sacred feminine within you, to move you forward, to guide you, to help you gain this understanding. And that's what leads you to your happily ever after. You fight for it, because you fight for you. All right, Virgo, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as you move from rags to riches. As you embrace a strength, a power, and a brilliance that was once hidden from you, or that you thought could never be. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.